Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining into this Power Packs AI Bootcamp. It's a hands-on generative AI hacks into tech, business, and marketing. Today, we will explore the latest trends in generative AI and how you can use them to improve your business. We will also cover hands-on exercise so you can start using generative AI right away. Some of the topics that we will cover today are generative AI terminologies, how to use generative AI for tech, business, and marketing, make sense of your business data with generative AI, and live demo of generative AI too. I'm going to now introduce you to our speakers, Paras Madan, who's an AI content creator and founder of various AI companies like Crooks.in, bestAIprom.com. Then I have with us Daksh Sharma, a global speaker, trainer, and co-founder of Effort.ai, a boutique technology and marketing company focusing on AI adoption, digital, and growth marketing. I will hand it over to Daksh now. Daksh, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Payal, and it's glad to be, a part of this. So we'll take this over. So the way we are going to run this session is I'll start over and I'll specifically talk about certain aspects in terms of setting the context of generative AI. And my co-host Paras Madan is actually geared up with a lot of hacks that he's going to present today. Perhaps, I'll have some of them more on the marketing side. And I was talking to Paras, we were discussing a lot. There's a lot of business data and tech insights that will come in from Paras as well. So Paras, I'm going to share my screen and I'll let you do the talking once I'm done. We have about an hour, so I think we'll probably try to make it as interesting as we can. Let me directly sort of dive into the presentation now. Show of hands if you can see my screen. I will just do a full screen right now. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So we'll just.
I can see.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll just get started. A very quick, shameless plug about what we do. So we are into everything AI. We started off as a digital marketing agency, but we have sort of rebooted, our service focus to AI-powered SEO. We also sort of delivery of AI, creative and performance campaigns, and also sort of build apps for entrepreneurs and businesses that are looking at tapping into generative AI. So that's what we do. Setting the context for the session, let's just take a step back. Everybody knows that generative AI is here, but most of the people sort of just look at generative AI being around ChatGPT and nothing else. So let's kind of understand what the technology stack of AI is as of now. We'll start with the base layer, which is the data layer. Essentially, the layer sort of includes three elements. There's public data, which is lying up on the internet. Then there is proprietary data, which is basically behind the firewalls, which we call as the enterprise data. Fun fact, there is about 70 to 80% of data, which is actually behind the firewalls. And then we have the synthetic data. Now, what's the synthetic data mean? That's the data which we are actually using to train an LLM or a model. That LLM could be anything from a Claude or probably, ChatGPT or any other large language model that you're using. And then lastly, we would probably have a future layer of data added, which is where, the data that you have, which is in the form of synthetic data, that's actually going to be validated. Because right now, the problem that you see with synthetic data is a lot of data is hallucinating. It is not necessarily correct. Sometimes the output that it throws is based on the user input. And a lot of times, we are actually giving garbage in. So when you give garbage in, you actually get garbage out. As of now, fun fact, it's about 1% of data that we have is synthetic. And probably, Gartner research says that by the end of next year, we would actually have 60% of data being, synthetic. On top of this, we have, AI infrastructure, which includes all the hardware. Most of the world's hardware is right now sitting in Taiwan. And in fact, while everybody knows about OpenAI, nobody actually knows about this company called TSMC, which is the company that is actually manufacturing all of the AI chips that are being used by the biggest, generative AI companies. And the reason why I'm actually talking about them is because, Taiwan is in a geopolitical climate. There is some sort of movement happening between Taiwan and China. So we all hope that, nothing is actually going to be impacted there, because if that's an impact, that's actually going to create an impact on the AI infrastructure world as well. Then we have, the AI models, which includes the combination of proprietary models and open source models. We're going to be talking more about that later. And then is where essentially the apps are being built in. You see a bunch of apps that companies are building in the consumer space, enterprise space, industry space, and departmental space. Now, an interesting insight here. Everybody knows that, OpenAI raised about $10 billion from Microsoft, and that was the largest funding that happened in the generative AI space. Nobody knows which is the next big funding round that happened. There's a company called Inflection AI, which actually raised $1.3 billion. And that's actually building an app in the personal AI space. So if you actually start reading and start digging a little deeper, you would find out that apart from just consumer apps such as OpenAI, we're also going to see rise in personal AI, because a lot of these AI apps are going to be trained on your personal data. Because I, as a human, I'm probably different from, let's say, a Payal or Paras or anybody else. And the AI is actually going to read and understand what I want. And that's going to be a space that's going to grow big. And then we have the autonomous agents. So I have a screenshot that's coming right after this, which is another big space that's actually coming. When we say autonomous agents, think of probably an AI being autonomous like a Tesla. Just like you have got a driverless car, you would actually have driverless agents. In fact, some of them have already come. And if you see here, the screenshot, this is actually sort of reflecting how the entire space of agents is going to be. This is my bet as well. I believe this is going to be a very big space. Check out this company called HyperWrite Personal Assistant. You guys can actually take a note of it. This is right now able to sort of browse on its own. So it's like I said, it's like a Tesla for AI agents. You can actually give it an instruction and you can watch it do the magic. It's currently available for trial. So that's the best thing that you could do. Just take it for a spin. Now let's actually get to the marketing side of it. And that's where I'd be focusing. And I think Paras is going to be talking more on business and data side of things. When we look at the marketing layer, we have actually 4 functions, and that's how I've kind of split it. There are tools that are actually helping you with research. And when we say research, it could be research about, a product that you're building. It could be research about, a new category that you want to sort of create. So there are a bunch of, AI solutions that are available, and some of the names that I've mentioned, you could, check them out. Then we have actually tools on the content side of things. One of the largest disruptions that's being caused by AI is the ability to create content at scale. So when we look at a tool like ByWord.ai, what it actually does is, you used to have hundreds of copywriters to create a lot of content. Tools like ByWord.ai are able to sort of, create that easily for you within a matter of minutes. And if you're a business owner, probably sort of looking at, top of the funnel content where you want a lot of people to sort of come into the funnel. Imagine like you're a real estate company. That's a great, utility for you. On the other side, you have a tool like Writer. Now, Writer is exactly opposite to what a ByWord.ai does. Now, what Writer does is, Writer is basically a tool which is trained for the enterprise usage. ByWord is actually pulling information from the internet. So it's actually trained on the public data. What Writer does is it's trained on your data. So imagine, let's say, we have IFERD, we have Delhi-NCR. What we're going to do is we're actually going to train the model on all the content that's available with Delhi-NCR. And it's going to create all the sort of content that you need. Imagine like an emailer content based on your nuances, based on your training, based on the way you want it to say. And that's on the other side of things. So today you can actually, create content on both sides. It's data on the public side as well as data on the enterprise side. I'll be taking you through a couple of these tools that I've mentioned on pitching and presentation. As a business owner, it's very easy to sort of create presentations on the go. We have, Slides.ai, which is a plugin that's available with Google Slides that you can sort of, just use to kind of create presentations on the go. On the other hand, if you don't want to do that, you could use apps like Gamma. Or for that matter, if you actually want AI to create presentations, you could use Augie as well. And I've been personally using a lot of these apps. I've been, taking some of these apps for a spin. Some of these apps are the stage at which these apps are right now. I would say the finished product is out there. Perhaps, you can say that where they are right now, 6 months later, they are going to be maturing much more. So you can't like just imagine, where they're going to be 6 months from now. But at the moment, they are able to fulfill a lot of gaps that you would want them to sort of create. Like I said, 100% quality of the output is not there. Some of them are still in early, but like just think of it, it's like very early days for generative AI. And you can't imagine 2 quarters from now where we would be. And all of us, who have been using ChatGPT, that's only the base layer on the basis of which, all of these tools have been built. And I was talking to Payal, she said that, hey, for me, generative is about ChatGPT, and the way we actually look at it, I don't even use ChatGPT right now. Probably that's the last thing that I go to because I have hundreds of options that are available for me to test and try. So yeah, I think now we just look at some business use cases in terms of how I feel generative AI world is actually changing how we are searching and interacting information. The first thing that I feel is that as a user, we are now going to be interacting with large language models. So in a pre-AI era, we used to just be on a search engine and we basically used to search for results. And now what is happening is we are having this concept of zero-click marketing. So essentially, none of the search engines want you to click, because they're moving away from this model where you would be clicking and fetching from information. So just think of search engines. You have search engines where you're actually going and you are looking at information. On the other hand, you have large language models where you're actually interacting. You're giving specific request and they're catering to your specific request. So you would still have search engines, which is more for informational purposes. But let's just say that you want to have a conversation, you want to have a chat. That is where a lot of generative AI models are going to come in. And perhaps a lot of us are already using that in the form of OpenAI. We have Claude 2 coming up. And both of these use cases would coexist together. And what does it mean for you as a business? Today, if you're just doing search engine optimization, you would have to optimize for the large language models as well. Think of the ChatGPTs, Bards, and the Bings of the world. I just, I wanted to elaborate this with the help of an example. So this is how Google's generative AI search is going to be. I have beta access to that. So we thought of, taking it for a spin using VPN. So here's an example where I've asked Google's Search Generative Labs, that's the feature that it is called, to tell more about Tire Delhi, and that's the information that it actually throws up. Notice how it's asking you to click on the context. So Google wants you to stay within the search engine. Google doesn't want you to go to a third-party website, and that's a big shift from Google's earlier model, because a lot of publishers were getting monetized by traffic that was coming from Google, and I can't I can't think in terms of what's going to happen to them, because the publishers who were essentially generating revenue through Google are also going to be impacted, and that's another conversation in terms of how they're going to recover from that. But when you click on a follow-up, you can now see that if let's say you ask a question about the membership fees, and I hope the Tire Delhi team can validate, it's actually able to pull out all the information, and all of that is sort of happening right in your generative AI search. You're not going anywhere. You're not consuming information from any other website. The best sources have been curated, even your Google Map reviews, the reviews that are actually happening on third-party websites, and all of that is happening inside your search. Let's look at another use case. I know, Paras, you had talked about it as well. I think the chip example that you had quoted. You have this raw image. Now, what can generative AI do for you? It can actually create fancy ad images like these, and just think of it like you put this to a Canva, you can create a nice banner ad image. So from raw to this, that's the kind of stuff that you can do with generative AI within a matter of seconds, not even minutes. Or for that matter, you can create output like this. This is just a combination of maybe a tool like Midjourney, a little bit of Photoshop, or no, not even Photoshop. You could actually just use Canva to sort of create this output. So we just created this concept video for a skincare brand in terms of what they could do with generative AI. And so imagine, the kind of output that you used to create earlier when you were traditionally doing photo shoots. You were basically doing a lot of concept thinking. That entire thing, which was probably happening in a matter of days, is now just shrunk to a matter of hours. And that's the sort of, boundary push that you can actually do with some of these things. I'll be talking about this tool called Augie, and I would highly recommend that some of you should check out, especially if you work in Walls creating a lot of videos. Augie is able to bring generative AI in the power of videos. It's, you just give it a topic and it's actually able to create a video, which is, picking up information from the internet. It can pick up images. And you don't need to do anything. You just need to export the video, and you can just use it for the purposes that you want. I'm very closely connected with the founder, so probably after the session we are actually going to give a special discount code for people who want to use Augie. But highly recommend anybody who's in the space of video creation to check out Augie.
As a wellness coach, you're passionate about guiding people to lead healthier, more balanced lives. But how can you effectively communicate your mission, methods, and results to potential clients? The answer is through video. Video is an incredibly powerful tool for connecting.
So we'll be taking a very quick look at Augie in terms of how it works right after this presentation. Is my video audio audible? Paras, can you hear the audio inside the
Yes,
video?
yes,
Yeah, perfect.
yes.
Yes, it's good, Daksh.
Perfect. So this is just come in right now, and this is a video that's been created using a combination of 5 AI tools. You first see the video, and then we'll talk about how this video was created.
This isn't just any sunrise. This is the dawn of a new day, the birth of a new day, a moment of transformation. It's about power. It's about strength. About the audacity to define who you are. Crafted for those who rise with we dare to break boundaries. Sexism. It's an attitude. Power isn't a gift. It's a choice.
So there you see, the entire thing has been created using a combination of 6 tools. The script was created using ChatGPT. Midjourney was used to create images. Then the images were actually fed to a tool, which is a Gen 2 version of Runway, to create the 3D animation. And using text to video, using again Runway, the video was actually created. And I don't know how many of you are already aware about a company called 11 Labs. That's the most disruptive company that's existing in the space of voices for generative AI. The entire voiceover was created using an AI, via 11 Labs. And even the music was actually created using generative AI. Do have a look at Runway. They have a trial. I think it's for about 150 credits. Probably you can create 5 to 6 videos. The first few output is going to be terrible because you're just going to be playing with the tool. But that's the easiest thing that you could do right now. So my recommendation is, everybody who wants to be a part of the generative AI wave should check out at least one tool other than ChatGPT. A lot of people are just thinking that generative AI is ChatGPT, but that's not what it is. And I know, Faras, you're going to be talking about Code Interpreter, but that's my, high tip that you should certainly look at least navigating to one more tool, be it, video, be it stuff like Midjourney or voice, and see what it could do for you. Gamma is another, great application, and let's look at Yeah, so I think to summarize what Gamma does is it actually creates presentations for you on the fly. I know a lot of people generally when they interact with generative AI models, including ChatGPT, they say that I'm not happy with the output. And I think my only tip is that your context needs to be set, because if you throw in garbage, like I said, the garbage is always going to be out. So you need to train the model. In case the first or two versions are not really to your liking, you have to sort of be a little patient for the model to work for you. And right now, in a space that they are, I have been testing these apps personally. In fact, Gamma, I've been in touch with the founders. I think they're creating a very satisfactory output, and they're taking a lot of load for you if you are in the space of creating presentations. So imagine if you're a business, you want to create pitch deck, do try out these apps as well. So to summarize, where we are, like I said, think multimodal. That's a thing that you should be looking at. Multimodal means that, AI not just takes text, it actually takes images, it takes PDF files as well. It can summarize information for you. I already spoke about the fact that we should be looking at a tool beyond ChatGPT. At least try to get familiar with that, train yourself on that, start playing around, get your hands dirty. And the AI that you see right now is going to be very different from the AI that you see 6 months later. So that's on the presentation side. I still have about 8 to 9 minutes. So I'll quickly, show some of the things in terms of an action and see what you could actually do with them. I also can see that we have a lot of questions and stuff appearing in the chat, which we'll probably take later. So let's take a deep dive. All right. Is my screen visible? I'm right now on Chrome. Paras, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Good.
All right. So this is just something that I've been doing with Bard in terms of how I use Bard. I know a lot of people just use Bard to sort of create content, but what I actually kind of do with Bard is something like this. So this is, for example, an image. You see this image, there's a lot of text in the image. What I actually told Bard is just to convert the content into separate bullet points with relevant and also elaborate each point. And there you go. It's created all the text for you. It's not only copied it, but it's also built its intelligence on top of that. So think of these models as your assistants, which can actually do not just your text interaction thing, but they also have the ability, like I said, to read PDF and image, and you could actually extract a lot of information from them. So that's the first thing. I just kind of playing around with this image. So this is actually a screenshot of an app called Perplexity, where I was actually asking Perplexity. Perplexity is also something that you should check out. It's based on GPT-4. So in case you can't pay $20 for Chat GPT, Perplexity is based on GPT-4, and it actually is having a free variant, so you can every day use it without actually worrying about the cost. So I just asked Perplexity to create to give me an explanation of sustainable living and explain that to a 3-year-old. And then what I did was actually fed this image to Bard, because I was not happy with the introduction and story. It not only read the image, it sort of created a different introduction and ending. So the whole idea is how you're going to play with these models. So I created content from one model, which is Perplexity, and then I fed it to Bard, and I said, Bard, hey, I need a better story. And I was just doing this for my 3-year-old because he was not happy with the ending that I gave to my son. And I thought, why can't Bard created that for me? So that's that. A very quick business hack. I was just playing around with this a little while earlier. So this is something we'll just kind of test right now. So I'm just throwing this message. I just wrote this message earlier before the session. And the message says, we have to research about 10 HR startups in New Delhi with less than 50 employees, their CEOs, their website, the cold connection message about Thai Delhi event partnership, because that's the event that we are doing right now. And I'll just use a simple function called GPT, and I'll see whether it can do anything on the spreadsheet. While it actually is taking time to load, I'll just go to the other sheet and I'll show you what I was able to create with this. So here I actually gave this prompt, which is research 10 fintech startups in India, their marketing heads, cold connection request message about Thai Delhi startup event. And I just, created a list combination. So by the way, this is a plugin called GPT for work. And because we are having a business session, so you could, try out this plugin called GPT for work, and you could use the open AI API. This is not ChatGPT paid subscription, but this is the OpenAI API. All you need to do is, give it the API. And this API, mind you, is way cheaper than a $20 subscription of ChatGPT, because the number of interactions that you have are far lesser. It was able to sort of research the startups for me and was also able to create the cold message, see some other templates. Just playing around with this one is actually about 10 HR startups that I created, and it was able to sort of create that, find out the CEOs, even list the website, and give me a specific cold message. Just think of what it could do for you from a point of view of sales or marketing. You are always spending all the time going to LinkedIn, researching, finding out what to say. And there you go, the prompt is here. This is what we just tested right now. It's actually able to generate that for me. What else do you need? And that's a simple plugin, GPT for work. Go check it out. As talking about Gamma, this is how Gamma works. So this is a logged in version of Gamma. You can create a new AI. So you create a presentation with new AI. Here you can use a text transform or a generate function. So when you say generate, it will ask you for multiple prompts. You can create a presentation, you can create a document, but let's just say you create a presentation, and let's say I want to talk about make a social media presentation pitch for Naukri.com. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know what it's going to generate. It's now just come up with ideas for you. It's saying that, hey, these are the ideas that I have in my mind, introduction to Naukri.com. I could change that, but let's just say I say continue. It's asking you to select the style guide, or you just say surprise me. And then you say continue. It's actually creating presentation on the fly. You can have your coffee, you can drink your water, and watch it do the magic. And like I said, this is 1 month of the app. If this is what the app is able to create inside 1 month, and let me talk to you while it's creating the presentation, just think of where we are going to be in not even 6 months from now, but 3 months from now. And again, this is, I didn't even give it specific prompt. I just said you created for Naukri.com, nothing, no input. It's able to use all its intelligence. Oh, they have a viral hashtag as well, hire me Naukri. I know social media marketers must be thinking that if this is what's going to happen, then what are we going to be there for? That's probably for another conversation, but I think as a marketer, you have to kind of use generative AI for sure. And last but not the least, the tool that I wanted to talk about, I am very passionate about WhereverDog is building. I have been in close touch with the founders. This is a tool that actually you can use to create videos on the fly. So you could just give it a audio or a video. You can actually create a video from a script, or you could start from scratch. So, if you have a scratch, you just go and it does, editing and voice, orientation, appearance. When I say appearance, it's actually going to create a video for landscape. It could create a video for horizontal. And that's about it. They have an 11 Labs integration. So voiceover is there. So if you want, they have Hindi integration as well. They have Indian accents integrated, and they're just building it's again, very early days. Output, and you could create a lot of businesses need training content. So it's a great utility over there. So with that, I think I'll just take a pause now and let Paras do the talking, because we're exactly 30 minutes into our session. Let me stop sharing. Yeah.
Right. So, hi everyone. My name is Paras. As Dak said, I'm a content creator. I've been into AI before it was cool, right? Because that's important to say. Right. So today, Dak spoke about what are the various tools that he's using and all these things. I'll talk more about how you can use AI for your business. Let's say you have a business and you have some spreadsheets, you have some data analysts coming, and you have all these tools. So I'll just give a glimpse of how to use these tools and how you can use actually all these agents that Daksh talk about, AI agents, how you can use it for your work. I'll specifically give you a demo of all these things. So I'll just share my screen and then we can just get started. I'll give you an overview of how it looks like, and then we can just take it one by one. We'll keep it crisp. We'll keep it crisp. Is my screen visible? Daksh, is my screen visible?
Yes. Perfect.
Right. How do I hide this now?
That's one thing which we probably need the AI to fix for us.
Right. Never mind. Right. So I'll be talking about these 4 things. One sec. I'll be talking about these 4 things. So firstly, we'll go, let's say a lot of you are business owners and you have your Excel sheets, maybe sales data, XYZ number of Excel sheets, maybe a tracker, XYZ, like it may have 1,000 different rows and like 10,000 different rows. I'll actually tell you that how you can analyze your sheets within 1 minute, and you can just actually train ChatGPT on your personal data, right? So this is one that we'll talk about. Second, I'll give you a live demo of training my friend's WhatsApp chat with ChatGPT. Right? I'll share the WhatsApp chat with ChatGPT and I'll train ChatGPT on my friend's data. And I'll ask that AI to talk in my friend's language. I'll give you a live demo for that. Then I'll analyze any stock prices. You tell me what stock to analyze, and I'll be analyzing any stock for you. Like I'll give you the next 10-day prices for it. Don't believe in that, but I'll show you a quick demo of how it is done. Like next, I'll tell you, if you have an idea, maybe let's say a lot of people have ideas for different purposes, or you want to research something, I'll tell you how to do it with AI, free of cost though, right? I'll tell you how you can just tell AI that you want to research and how it can go to 1,000 different websites for you and just tell you that these are the research points that you were looking for. So let's get started. So I'll go step by step so that a lot of you who may not have context about this just actually get an idea. 1 second, this is so annoying, right? Give me a sec. How do I remove this actually?
I think there's an option for you to minimize that. We don't see it on a screen. It's just for the presenter.
I don't see it with me as well. Never mind. So we'll start with this. So as you can see on my screen, this is ChatGPT code interpreter. So for all of you, if you are a normal ChatGPT user, you may not see this interface, right? I have bought a ChatGPT Plus subscription for $20, and I think it's worth the price. Why do I say this? When I have simple ChatGPT subscription, I can only use GPT 3.5. But with that Plus subscription, I can actually use ChatGPT Plus and all these code interpreter and all these latest technologies. So let me give you a glimpse of what ChatGPT code interpreter actually is. I'm talking about it. I'm training this, but what actually it is, I'll give you a glimpse of what it is actually. So ChatGPT code interpreter is something that gives you power to train AI on your personal data. Like you can submit any document, any Excel sheet, any PDF, any image, any video, anything that you have in your laptop or anything that you have in your PC, you can just submit it to ChatGPT and ask questions about that. So it's like ChatGPT on your data. It gives you the flexibility for that. So this is the power of what that $20 subscription brings to me. So I'll just this is the interface that I have. So I'll just go and just select ChatGPT code interpreter. And when I select this, I'll see a plus option there where I can upload my any file, like anything that I have in my PC, maybe an image, video, as I mentioned, I can upload anything. So first of all, I'll just quickly analyze a Excel sheet for you right now, right? I'll just download any sales data. If someone has anything in their laptops or PC and you want me to type anything on download any random file on internet, just let me know in the comments and let's take any file on internet. So it's not I have pre-planned it. I'll just take any document on the internet. I'll just do it in front of you. So this is the sales data that I have for my reference. I'll just quickly open it and show you that how many rows it has, right? It has approximately 10,000 rows. I'll just quickly scroll it. And it's not possible for me manually to just go and just analyze it, right? See, how many hours would it take for me to manually analyze all this? Like how understand the columns, manually analyze. This is the data that I have. Like the amount of data is humongous, right? I just downloaded that file, right? So it has like this many rows. So I'll just close it now. It's done, right? Now I'll show you that without even analyzing the data, I just got, let's say you have sales data for your company and you just exported it out of a software that you use. Just go there and just upload your file. I'll just do it in front of you, sample sales data, and it's uploaded. And just ask ChatGPT. I have this sample prompt with me. I can just type. It's simple language, right? It's simple language. Okay. This is the prompt that we'll use. I'll just explain the prompt as well, that how did I landed up at a prompt? Did I copy it from somewhere? So I'll just write, I've written, give me a detailed exploratory data analysis for the data. When I say exploratory data analysis, this word means that I want AI to give me some graphs, and based on that graphs, it will draw some conclusions out of it. Like what are the patterns that the sales is observing? What are the patterns that there are anomalies in the data? What is that, right? So with that data, I have just uploaded a sheet and just told ChatGPT to give me that. I'll just hit enter. Simple language, no fancy stuff, simple language. So I'll just show you that what is ChatGPT able to do with that, right? So what actually happens is, how it works behind the scenes is, there's actually a code that is running behind the scenes. It is actually loading that Excel sheet for me using a Python script. This is the Python that is data, but we are not able to see it. If you want to see it, it is actually printing the code, but you can just click on this and just see the things, right? So it's actually starting the data. Like it is actually telling me that what are the steps it will take, and it is just starting up. And I don't have to provide any instruction. Like I can just sit and sip my coffee, right? I just to see ki kya ho raha hai, kaise ho raha hai. It's just all happening in front of you, right? Right. So it has started giving me the data analysis. The data set contained 2,823 rows and 25 columns. And these are the columns. I haven't studied Excel sheet. I have just downloaded it in front of you. And this is the Excel sheet. I haven't studied it. It is a new chat, right? But it did all of it within seconds, right? It just took seconds to analyze the whole stuff, right? So now it has just started coming up with the graphs for me, right? So magic is started happening. So this is the thing that we have. It is actually analyzing the data, and it is also producing graphs side by side. So this is a magic that ChatGPT does to you. So for all the business owners that are in this meeting, you can actually use this tool for analysis of your data. It can be anything. It can be sales data, stock data, anything that you have in your mind. Now, some of you may say that I have 2 Excel sheets. This is an important question that I get asked. I have 2 Excel sheets. How do I upload that? Because there's no option for uploading multiple Excel sheets. What you can do is you can just upload, you can just put that Excel sheet, put that in a folder, 2 of Excel sheets, and just zip that and upload that zip file to ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT will actually unzip your file and extract all those 2 CSV files for you, and it will actually produce graphs for you, right? Actually, we would give you detailed analysis. So we'll just go ahead. This is the sales distribution graph, and this is sales over time, like along with the time. This is sales and this is time. This is sales versus time graph. All with this data, and with just one prompt. I haven't typed anything, as you have seen, right? Just one tool, and this is all it, right? And it's actually doing it, right? Right. Now, I'll also tell you a fun part. Apart from this, what can you do with this tool? I'll also tell you. Now, since you have the data loaded in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT actually understands it, you can actually go ahead and tell it. Like you can just talk with your data, talk with your Excel sheet. I'll just give you an example for it. Hey, can you share any anomalies that you see in the data? Anomalies that you see in the data, You can ask anything, any specific row, any specific column, anything, right? Or maybe I'll just ask a more specific question for you. What is the sale that happened in USA? Right. So top countries, I just got this question from this. Top countries are USA, Spain, and France. So I'll just ask a very specific questions, like just go in the sheet and just calculate for that for me. Right. Right. So it actually went to the sheet, it started working. It has written code for it, right? It has written this query for me. Right. So it actually went to the sheet, analyzed all of it. वहां से उसने USA नाम के कॉलम को एक्सट्रैक्ट करा and then actually calculated the result and printed it for me with just one prompt. What this magic is, right? It's actually trained on your data. So that's the magic that we're talking about. And no technical knowledge required, nothing. Just simple English language and that's it, right? See how, along with all the AI tools that Duck spoke, think of it like this tool along with your data, like the basic presentation created with that tools that Ducks talked about, and along with the data, along with all the data back then from this code interpreter, how powerful your presentation can be if you have a pitch deck or something like that. Think of it like, it's amazing, right? Now let's move to a second use case, because we have to cover 4 use cases. I'll give you a glimpse of all the use cases. I'll just go and select a new chat. You can just go and talk to your PDF now, your Excel sheet now. You can just do it, right? So it's trained on your data. Now, moving on to the second point. So it will be helpful for all those people who are into business, right? Now, moving on to the second point, I'll give you another demo of how the tools look like. So I'll just go to Google and just type, like, let's say, which is the craziest stock that's going, right? So I'll just give you a Nika example, right? So I'll just type it, Nika stock prices, Yahoo Finance. Stock prices, Yahoo Finance, right? I'll just download 1 year data of Nika. in front of you and just upload it, right? So I have Yahoo Finance with me. I can actually go and download this data for an year. Where's the download option? We have the download option, historical data. Right, we have this download option now. I'll just select a year's data. Give a second, maybe. I can do it for any stock. I can do it for any stock, Paytm, anything that you have in your mind, I can do it for you right now. Why is it not loading up? Sorry, my internet is pretty bad. I should accept that. Nika stock prices, Yahoo Finance. Right, historical data. Right, show me price, show me in years data. Okay, 1 year. Do we have it? Yes, do we have it? I'll just download it. Right, so we have this downloaded. I'll just pick it up. I'll go to Chat GPT now. So it's a new chat, right? We have that chat in history, that the sales analysis we did. Now we have a new chat. I'll just go ahead and just upload that file that we just downloaded from downloads folder. I want Nika, right? I have this CSV file. I'll just go and just take this prompt, right? This is English language. I haven't copied it from somewhere. This is English language. Take this Excel sheet, analyze it, and then show me the trend of future prices of this stock. It's simple. It's simple English language. It's not some fancy stuff that you need to learn, right? It's simple. You can just go and use it. So just do it. Right. Okay. So the magic has already started. It is actually going and loading up the data for you. So what I mean to say it, you just, if you invest in stock market, don't just go and analyze stock prices for you and just invest with this data. What you can do is, if you want to study better and analyze a company better, I'm just showing you the possibilities that AI you can do with this tool, right? I'm just exploring and telling you the different type of dimensions that this tool can open for you. If you want to study any data, any company's data, and take decisions according to that, but don't directly just depend on this tool and invest. You may come with me and just take here. You told me about this price and you're telling me that I just invested and let's not. Don't do that, right? But this is just okay. Now we have it. Now we have this data. I'll just do it, right? So what it has done is it has the following columns. It's just studied the data, and we have this depiction of 1 year prices, like how did the Nika stock price actually performed over 1 year. So this is actually the price in a matter of minutes, seconds, I should say. It is actually able to do that. So if you are interested to know how AI is actually doing it, you can read the documentation. If you are not, maybe you just want to look at the results. So it's actually using some methods, Dickey-Fuller test and everything. Like it's actually doing something behind the scenes. Actually calculating. There's actually a whole math behind the whole stuff for calculating the future stock prices in AI. It's called time forecasting, and ARIMA model is an example for that, right? So this is actually he's just calculating the math part of it. You will get a final result at the end of it, right? Now I'll talk about when it is happening. I'll also talk about the next thing that we are going to do. Now all of us use WhatsApp, right? And if you know that you can export anyone's chat using WhatsApp, you can just export any group's chat or any personal chat using WhatsApp. Now, I am fond of doing these crazy experiments with AI. What I actually did was, I actually exported my friend's chat and submitted it to this AI. And I actually asked it, hey AI, why don't you actually learn my friend's talking style and just tell me and just talk me in that way, analyze everything. Now, what AI actually did was, it actually analyzed my friend's conversation with that WhatsApp chat history, and it actually analyzed कि मेरा दोस्त कौन से emojis को सबसे ज़्यादा use करता है, what are the words that he use, right? And he actually started talking to me in that manner. And what I did was, I actually posted that results on LinkedIn, and to a matter of fact that LinkedIn post became viral because it was a new use case that the world was seeing. Like you can actually train anyone's chat. Like it has a good use case for it. You can train like someone who is not there chats with it, and you can just talk it. Like it's I'm just exploring different dimensions for you. But yes, so we have this data ready with us. What it is a visual representation of historical data along with the red line indicates the forecasted prices. Okay, this is the forecasted price for next 10 days, maybe. So it has just given me the price, but I'll just ask it to give me a table. Can you give me a table for next 10 days prices? Right. So for making it more clear for you, I'm just asking it to give me a table for next 10-day prices. Like I'm not able to understand things better from a graph. So just ask it for a table. Right. So we have a clear table of what it looks like. It is on 3rd of August, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Don't believe this data, right? As of now, I should say, right? But it just gives you a clear analysis of what other possible dimensions for you to explore this tool, right? That's what we're talking about. So this is another AI experiment that I did as a part of my content creation as I do. Next, I'll just give you a quick demo of my WhatsApp chat thing that I told about, the viral experiment that I did on LinkedIn. So I have this data with me of my friend. We have a WhatsApp chat. I'll show you the data as well. First of all, right. So this is the WhatsApp chat data that we have. So we actually use a lot of emojis, movies. We talk about general things, right? We talk about, this is actually the chat data that we have. I exported it from WhatsApp. Interesting part. But I'll go ahead now and I'll just upload this in front of you. So this contains in a new folder, WhatsApp chat, right? I just wanted to upload it. Now see the difference. I uploaded a Excel sheet before, and now I am giving it a text document. So this AI can actually take anything for you, like any type of document. It supports all type of things. I'll go ahead and just copy the prompt. Okay, sorry. Right. This is the prompt that I'll use. Right. So it's simple, yeah. It's simple. Take this chat history between me and my friend Sayyam, analyze his speaking style, and talk to me in the same way as he does. Right. It's simple English. It's nothing complex, right? We'll just go ahead and use it. Right. So first of all, he's telling me the steps that what he's doing is analyze his talking style, maybe. So it actually does all of it by itself. Okay. I'll also show you this important point now. What actually happened was it was not able to read this document. So now this AI instructed itself to try another method. See this, read this line. I made an error in extracting the chart from this message. The outputs are timestamp and summary movement. I just need to extract the extraction method, get the actual message. So it's actually instructing itself. It's smart enough to actually understand it is not type to, samajh nahi paaye. It's actually understand, right? So we have an analysis of Right. So we have Sayyam uses short sentences and phrases often. He often seems to use informal language and use the stamp OA. So this is a very informal thing that we did. Right. Shreyansh, he might be referring to, okay. So I'll just talk in the same informal way we do. Bhai kya hal hai? Right. Since we talk in this language, I'll just show you an example. Right. Right. So actually the AI is answering me in the manner that my friends actually do. ओए सब बढ़िया तू बता कैसा है भाई कोई मूवी सजेस्ट कर मूवी सजेस्ट कर right right so it's actually making up maybe we haven't talked about gully boy in an entire chat but it's actually bringing that context from somewhere I don't know but it actually setting the entire context in my friend's way. How crazy is that? Like I can just talk to anyone. Like if I have a few instances, a few messages of there, I can just tell this AI to analyze their chats and just do it, right? How crazy is that? What world we are living in, right? And this is also maybe, I think on a broader perspective, I also think that this is dangerous in some context. right? A lot of people can use it in the wrong way. I don't tell you how, but a lot of people can actually use it in the wrong way. I've seen people doing that, right? So this is one thing that ChatGPT is able to do. Now, enough of ChatGPT. I'll show you a different tool ka demo. Daksh in this presentation talked about AI agents, right? When we talk about agents, what do I actually mean by that agents? Like, what does that actually mean? An AI agent means like you give it an instruction. Let's say an instruction for me is, hey AI, go to find me novel ideas in this world. Find the novel ideas for, I want to open a finance startup. Go to internet, research about all the existing startups and give me a novel finance idea. This is an idea. So an AI has to understand there are different goals in it, right? First of all, the goal is go to internet, go to Google, search for different startups, research about single startups, and then see what they are doing. So there, it has multiple steps involved. It's not a one-step process, right? So now I'll actually give you an example of how these things work. Like you can actually, so this is a tool called Agent GPT. You can just go to this website, Agent GPT got reword. There are multiple tools for this. There's a tool called godmode.space as well. This is another tool. Both of them does the same work. But yes, this is how you tell an agent to how to work like. So I'll just name my, it's simple. You will see this interface. You don't have to sign in. You just have to see this interface. So I'll just type in an agent. Then you can type anything. It's just a formality for you. I'll just tell you, give you a demo of the thing that I just told. I want to build a SaaS. I can do anything. There are different templates for it as well. There are different, if I want to scrape content from internet, let's say I want to write a Python script that scrapes content for me from different websites, I can just use this. I have a post. If you are a social media marketer, just go and use this post GPT. They have different, if you are a dietitian or maybe someone related to fitness, just go and use this fitness GPT, news GPT. There are different types of things. You can just go and use these templates as well, or you can create your own thing. So in this case, I'm just creating my own thing. So simple prompt, I want to build a SaaS startup in fintech. Find me all the potential novel ideas and compare it with the current fintech startups. That's it. Nothing fancy, just start it. Right. Now what it does is actually has given itself some task to do. Right? It's not a series of one task. As I still told you, agar hum humans isko karenge, so we have a series of steps that will take. Now actually AI actually has multiple things as well. It works in a similar way. It has actually instructed itself to various tasks. And these are the various tasks that are added. And it is actually executing them one by one. We don't have to do anything. We just have to wait. It's also printing what are the ideas that we have, right? What are the failures that current fintech company has and all these things, right? It is researching everything. So at the end of it, it will give you an answer, right, that you asked. If you're interested in only answers, you can just find it as well. If you're interested to know how the AI does its research, you can just read it as well. That's up to you. So we don't have to instruct anything. We can just sip our coffee while the AI is doing the work for us. So the entire concept of AI is not to scare people. I actually tell people on my content creation journey as well. The entire concept of AI is to make AI your friend and not be scared by it. If you are a developer, if you are someone who is into developing industry, use this AI to maybe code better. If you're in the development, if you're in the analytics industry, use ChatGPT for analyzing data fast. What you were able to do in like 30 minutes, do it in 10 minutes now and spend that 20 minutes somewhere else doing something more productive or maybe researching, analyzing more. Do it for your help. Don't just have this ego that I'm better than AI, I can do it. Maybe you are better now. But what happens 6 months down the lane? If you are at par with the AI world, you will be able to do things better. That's what we are here for. We are here to tell you that how we can use these tools actually. So now a limitation of this tool is that it only does 5 tasks at a time, right? And it breaks because you have to pay for it, right? So I have another thing going on in my laptop. I have this setup. Actually, what happens is this technology is called Auto GPT. The technology behind A10 GPT is Auto GPT. So if someone is in a technical field, you can actually go and reset it up on your PC that I have set it up. I'll give you that same goal that I have. I'll give you the same goal. I want to get it, but it will not break after 5 loops because this is something that is set up on my PC. Right? I've actually OpenAI key set up for it. So it actually not break up. But here you have to buy a pricing subscription for managing your account. For smaller tasks, you can actually go and use it. But if you want it for longer conversations, maybe either pay for this software if you are from non-tech background, or use it for your help, right? Set it up on your PC, maybe. That's a different conversation of how you set it up. But yes, right. So how it works, it gives me a plan, and then I have to approve that plan for it. Like, is the AI heading in the right direction? If it's not, I can actually custom it. Like, I actually say it, like, you're not doing it better, do it in this manner. So it actually, you can see it actually went and research about, it's actually scraped the page. I can actually see that href tag. If someone is from a technical background, it's a tag that we use in HTML. So it actually went and researched various startups for me. Ripple crypto trends, Ripple insights, and all these things. They actually went to a Google search and just scrape that thing for me. All of it by itself. The magic is that. You can see, right? This is a brief demo of how these things work. Now, the number one question that I get asked after this conversation is, see, you told me about ChatGPT and all these things, all this fine. That's okay. But our company's data is private, right? We cannot share it to a ChatGPT model, because ChatGPT model, they have clearly mentioned is that they can use your data in training other models, right? It's actually making your data public to the company, right? So a lot of you can come and say, "Yeah, Paras, we have this data, but we cannot give it to ChatGPT. It's our personal data within the companies." So there's a solution for that too, right? But for that, you need a technical person to handle it for you, because what happens is there's an AI model called Private GPT. It's ChatGPT code interpreter, but on your laptop. So now AI is actually in your laptop, and you can now train the entire model using a command prompt, right? So you can set it up on your laptop or whatever device you use, and you can actually upload your sheet on your personal laptop, and it will not go anywhere. So a solution for that is this, but that's a different topic. We'll talk about maybe sometime later. But yes, that's the thing that we are talking about here. Now, up to any questions that you might have, this is a brief introduction of all the AI tools and how to use it practically. We're not talking about Hawa mein, we're talking about how to use these tools.
Yeah. I think Payal had an announcement to make as well. There was a lot of questions that I also got about, the data being safe. In fact, some of you should check out Bing Chat for the enterprise, which is primarily made for the enterprise consumption. And they wouldn't be using any of your data for training their model. It's just been announced a couple of weeks back.
Right. You can use it here. Maybe you can just buy an enterprise plan. Okay. It looks like this way.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a brief demo of the AI tools and how to use it for your business. Just do it. Just make AI your friend and use in whatever way you can. That's what we helped you with.
Thanks, Payal. Thanks, Paras.
Amazing session, guys. So productive. And I had like so many jaw-dropping moments. Really did. All right, so thank you both of you. I think we'll collate the questions and send it over to you guys, I think, because we're running out of time now. So we will collate the questions that we have. Just have an announcement, everybody, all the participants, if they can stay for like 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. I just have a quick announcement to make. We have a flagship event called India Internet Day, which is Delhi-NCR's flagship event. It's coming up on the 24th and 25th of August, 24th being in Bangalore and 25th in Delhi-NCR. If you've not registered for it yet, we'd request everybody to register. India Internet Day, this year's theme is artificial intelligence, surprise. And please go ahead and register for that. Thank you so much. Thank you to both of you, Daksh and Paras, for taking out time. And hopefully we'll see you on India Internet Day.
Thank you so much. And follow us on Instagram. Paras, what's your Instagram handle? You're on mute.
Sorry. It's actually AI Kid. You can just go and just follow me. Just type the AI and it'll pop up.
Or look up for my name, Daksh Sharma. That's the name on LinkedIn or Instagram. Thank you so much. Thanks, Payal. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.